constructed by an alien whose name is currently unknown, who's friends with Joe from an alternate timeline because no matter how many times they try, they keep losing a cataclysmic war on the brink of destruction on the very edge of existence itself. Let me explain. We'll deem this the TAU, the Trailer Park Alien Universe. And you know, as soon as I thought that I was cooking with that title, I found out that's the exact title name that the creator of this masterpiece, Brandon, gave it as well. So put on your theory helmets and Mario jump on that like button and let's jump into today's video. As I examined Brandon's videos, it came pretty apparent to me right away that Brandon's a guy who seems to post things with a purpose and for a reason. And wouldn't you know it, the very next day after I first heard the song and saw the video, he released a whole 1 hour long looped version of the song. And that too was on purpose with meaning and hidden lore behind it. I think Brandon did this for 2 different reasons. One was a meta one. A well-received song and a video by the viewers in the real world deserved a 1 hour looped version of it, clearly. And 2, it has way more to do with the actual lore regarding the entire video and not just the song's first portion of the video. Now, before I can continue and go any further, I have to address the large elephant that's in the room. See, I had my script ready to go, and before I got the chance to actually record the script and send it to my video editor, fell ill and had to go to the hospital. And by the time I came back home, the good folks over at Nintendo asked Brandon to take the video down. He even took the song off of Apple Music. I know this because I had it downloaded and listened to it on repeat. But that doesn't stop the most important parts from being shared, which is what happens after the Mario portion of the video. And with that being said, let's continue. See, after listening to the song for way longer than I should have, due to me needing to go to sleep so that I could wake up early the next morning, I mean, when I tell you guys I had this song on repeat for the next 3 hours, I am not kidding you. I tell you no lies. I realized that the very beginning of the song, in which we the viewer see, is a perfect circle, or in other words, a perfect loop. Looping what happens at the end of the Mario and Peach story back to the very beginning of the video. Don't believe me? Check it out for yourself. Notice at the end, Mario and Luigi falls off of the tracks. Now go back to the very beginning of the video. What do we see? We see coins, coin blocks, fish, Mario and Luigi. The cherry on top is, if you look close enough, right behind Luigi is the same exact cart that they crashed and fell off of at the very end. Boom, time loop confirmed. And just to make sure that I dotted my I's and crossed all of my T's, I did some extra digging and went back to another one of his videos called Trailer Park Alien. In that video, it shows an alien crash landing to Earth, just to be scooped up by a secret government agency. And so the hero Joe and his friends have to save him from captivity. The alien thanks the heroes and says its goodbyes. But something weird happens right after that. Joe seems to wake up from a nap, being told by the character Brayden that the exact same thing he says at the beginning is now suddenly starting to happen again. I mean, so much so that Joe starts to finish Brayden's sentences, almost as if he's having a serious case of deja vu. And when the video cuts back to the secret government agents, one of them, also known as Agent 12, flat out says,
"Sir, speak. I think we've been placed under a time loop." What?
Boom, time loop confirmed. Again. You know, it's funny because if I would have saw that video first, I would have known way sooner that it's all just a time loop. But I came to that conclusion even before seeing that video. And I think when Brandon decided to drop his 1 hour looped version of the song was on purpose, as a hint to the viewers that this is the groundwork and basis for the hidden lore for all of his most recent videos that takes place in the Trailer Park Alien universe, or as I like to call it, the TAU. Now, once the Mario portion of the video ends, we find out that what we've seen so far is a video game being played by 4 kids. The adult tells the kids to go outside and play. Then he thanks Joe for fixing his car. Now, at this point, there's something very important that I haven't mentioned just yet. If you take a close look at the upper left-hand corner of the screen, there's a bunch of numbers and words that constantly scramble but sometimes reveal key pieces of information. At the very top, it literally spells out the word loop, and right beside it has a number. The number reads 192035. This number represents how many times the loop has occurred so far. So that means this has happened 192,035 times so far. Underneath that is the location, and currently they're located in Alpharetta, Georgia, and the date reads 07/08/23. Now, I did take into account that there are places around the world that formats their dates differently, but because this scene takes place in the United States of America, it would be safe to say that the confirmed confirmed date that this takes place is July the 8th, 2023, which fell on a Saturday that year. Now, as Joe drives off, he nearly gets into a car crash, and at the last second, the screen flickers. The time loop number changes, this time from 192,035 to 192,036. And don't worry, we'll get to that truck that nearly ran straight into poor old Joe in a sec. After Joe is startled by the almost car accident, day turns into night, and our friend Joe is seemingly being beamed up into a UFO. And more hints of lore is being dropped by a voice that's unfamiliar to the story so far. Now, as Joe is being dissected and experimented on by the aliens, a smaller alien sneaks into the room. And once he does, he plays music and starts dancing. The alien even shows Joe a picture of two people, a man and a woman, with the initials E plus J, with a heart around it as well. Then on the guy's shirt in the picture, even having an alien on it, and at the very bottom of the page lies one word: remember. Almost as if the alien is trying to say, it's me. A little Five Nights at Freddy's reference for you. The alien is trying to get Joe to remember, but Joe forgets due to the constant spatial and temporal shifts in the timeline. During this time, while on the spaceship, our alien friend is dropping major lore. And right before the scene ends with them on the spaceship, the alien says, and I quote, "Joe is just another test subject who would come and go, but to me, it's like I've known him all my life." You see, according to the alien species, it took them approximately 5,904 years to evolve from humans to their current state, as shown in the 2-minute and 20-second mark of the video. On the left, showing a human skeletal structure in the year 2001, and on the right, an alien skeletal structure in the year 7,905. Well, what does that tell us? It tells us that these aliens are our descendants from a distant future, and if our friend, the breakdancing alien, was born in a different time, one closer to our own, it would look different. It would look like one of us. It would look human, thus bringing the next part of the story. Remember how I said that if our breakdancing alien was born in a different time period, he'd probably look more human? Well, in the next scene, there is a talking owl that says,
Enough!
So you want to meddle with time, huh, boy? When will you learn that your fate is inescapable?
At first, I thought this entity that's taken the form of an owl was talking to Joe, because Joe was the only other person there. But after inspecting closely, the entity is actually talking to our dancing alien friend. In the next scene, our alien friend takes the form of a human. We know this because the alien's voice is the same voice as the human kid in the next scene. You see, it seems that our little alien friend who loves to dance is way more powerful than it originally lets on, explaining to us that time is an illusion. You see it as a straight line. But to me, it is a vast ocean where past, present, and future flows together. You see, in order for a being like this to exist, according to esoteric and philosophical concepts, to see the past, present, and future simultaneously, one needs to be in a plane of existence often referred to as the Buddhist plane, or a state of pure consciousness where the limitations of linear time are transcended, allowing for perception of all moments as a single interconnected whole. It then proceeds to show us television screens that acts like the currents of time, and with its power, it can twist and reshape any moment, revealing to us that it was him all along, altering the course of time, the alien probing to the near-death car crash that Joe almost had earlier in the video. But it's that last part of the dialogue that has me the most concerned, as it says,
"But every ripple seems shockwaves, and those who dominate always ride the waves."
And those who dominate always ride the waves. So, how are you guys doing so far? I hope you brought your snacky snacks with you. Now, at this point, I know what you're probably thinking. Why is this so concerning? Well, in the very next scene that had my gamer spirit absolutely hyped, looking like it was inspired straight out of a Final Fantasy final boss cutscene, it shows the alien, Joe, and a familiar face, the woman who was on the drawing that the alien showed Joe while on the spaceship, begging him to remember. And it looks like they're in a cataclysmic event locked in battle, where our main antagonist says,
It is impressive that mobile home trailer trash dwellers like you have survived this long. But your death is certain.
There's this one last thing that needs to be solved. That is the timeline of events. So far, we know that the characters are in a time loop. But in what order is it happening in? Well, I believe the timeline of events takes place like this. 1. Trailer Park Alien. 2. Mario Don't Save Her extended version. And 3, the one video that I haven't talked about just yet in this video, titled Mr. I Scream Man. See, there's something suspicious that happens in that video. I mean, other than the fact that Mr. I Scream Man is apparently carrying a dead body around with him in his ice cream truck. By the way, if I had to take an educated guess and use context clues, I think the dead body is the original Ice Cream Man. Something unfortunate happens to him, which is why the title of the song is Mr. I Scream Man. The title's there as a hint to the imposter's mental state, stressed because he has a dead body in his stolen ice cream truck. Now, notice the neighborhood he's in, and notice the people. Those are the same kids and the one adult that's in the Mario video. This takes place right after Joe leaves in that video. Don't believe me? Need to see it for yourself? Well, I expect nothing less. Notice in the Mario video, when the kids are done playing the video game, the adult says, and I quote, "All right, that's enough of this. Go outside and play. The Ice Cream Man is coming." The kids go outside, do a little dance, Joe drives off, and you freeze frame the video. You see the truck that made Joe swerve and almost cause a wreck was Mr. Ice Cream Man's truck. That's him getting away from the crime scene because of, well, the dead body he has in the van. And the last clue, which I think was brilliant of Brandon to do, at the very end of the Mario Don't Save Her extended video, the number 2 flashes on the screen. In the other 2 videos, there's no numbers. No hints or anything at all at the end of the videos, signaling to us, the viewers, that this is the second video in the timeline. Plus, in the comment section of the video was a pinned comment that had a bunch of coded words that make up no sense at all. So I threw those bad boys in a code decipher, and the phrase reads as follows: "Everything will be revealed in time." And I think that was once again Brandon's way of telling us, the viewers, just enough lore so that we could put the rest of the pieces together for ourselves. But hey, that's just a theory. Seriously, I really need to come up with my own catchphrase. Thanks for watching. And guys, if you like that video, go show Brandon some love. And while you're at it, check out another one of my videos that YouTube thinks you'll like as well. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.